I'm going to be sharing some essential tools that I think every event planner and wedding planner needs in their business. Now, a lot of these tools will be focusing on the client management, project management, and marketing, but it is so good for overall business management to help you save time, just spend less energy doing day-to-day tasks, and spend more time doing the things that are generating revenue in your business, such as finding clients or just executing and planning your events. First set of tools I'm going to look at is really focused on organization and project management. Now, I'm going to start with the CRMs, and the CRM is a client relationship management system that allows you to work with clients and communicate with clients back and forth with less redundancy. So what I mean by that is in any of your businesses, you might have a process of a client sends you an inquiry, you respond, you set up a meeting, you send them a proposal, you send them a pricing guide, you send them an email back and forth. They want to know your price. They want to get a quote. You send them an invoice, you send them a contract. There's a lot of back and forth, but a lot of that back and forth is often the same from client to client, especially if your service is the same. Now, here's the thing. You have so many systems out there that can automate this process and better manage it so that you're not going through emails, trying to find email after email, send the same emails over and over to client. You can actually put this in, automate it. You can have templates set up so you're not recreating the process each time. Now, for the CRMs, there's a couple that I recommend. There's HoneyBook, there is Planner, and there's Dubsado. Now, I find the features amongst these are more or less the same with a few differences. And these key differences is why I usually tell everyone, go ahead and try these programs out before you commit, because there are so many different reasons why you might like one or the other. Now, I'm going to be very transparent. Some of these programs I am an affiliate for, and I will note that in the description so that if you do click the link and go over and you get a discount, there's a chance that I might also be getting some kind of a affiliate commission off of that. But I promise you that's not the reason I'm recommending these programs, because there are many programs I will be mentioning in this video that I am not an affiliate for, but I do want you to know because it also helps to increase your efficiency. Now, I'll start with the CRMs and the HoneyBook. HoneyBook is one that I recommend to all of my clients who are just like, I need something quick, easy, streamlined, straightforward. I don't have to do a lot of creation myself. I don't need a ton of customization, but I can change the branding. HoneyBook is perfect for a lot of small business owners. The next one is Planner. Planner is very specific to the wedding industry. So if you're in the wedding space, Planner might be a better option for you, especially because I find compared to say HoneyBook, Planner has a more robust project management side, like project management and timelining. So you definitely want to look into that piece. That being said, HoneyBook on the automation side, I find to be a little bit ahead of the game than Planner, but Planner still does have those tools within it. So check them out and see what the difference is on your end. Now, the third one is Dubsado. I find Dubsado to be very similar to HoneyBook, with the key difference being that Dubsado is a beast on the customization front. You can customize Dubsado so much in a way that you couldn't previously with HoneyBook. Now, I will say HoneyBook is changing because there are so many things in HoneyBook that previously weren't customizable that I've noticed over the years they have been changing, that you can now update and change on your own. Now, that's what I loved about Dubsado. And I've used HoneyBook and Dubsado both personally in my business, so I can speak to these more personally. Dubsado allowed a branding experience that you could build from the ground up. That being said, I know a lot of people actually didn't like that, especially if you're not someone who is tech savvy or you're not someone who wants like a blank canvas that you can build from. You'd prefer to have pre-done templates and things that you can just edit here and there. Then HoneyBook might be the better option. So check out all three. I promise once you have these set up in your business, the amount of time it will save you. You will not be thinking, where's that email? Should I send it to the client? Did they read it? Should I follow up? All of that can be implemented, automated, templated in these programs. The next set of programs I want to look at is more on your timelines and team collaboration. Now, there's a couple of programs in here that I've basically used. I know I've used so many things in my business. That's because I've worn so many different hats, because I previously worked as an event planner. As some of you might know, I worked as a corporate planner for over 15 years before I transitioned into marketing for event and wedding pros. So here's the thing. There are programs like Asana and Trello that are great for project management. Trello, I used to use a lot in my corporate life because we had a team, like we had a team of event planners, and I find it was really good. Like we use it a lot within the team where we could share information, just put everything in boards, tag key information that we needed to keep track of. It was really good. The other part though, Asana, I use personally right now in my marketing agency. Now I use Asana to collaborate in a couple different ways. I use it for myself to keep track of tasks. I use it with my team to keep track of items that needs to be completed. And there are some boards where I will collaborate with different partners on that's specific to a client or a project. So those, I want you to check them out because they're so good on the planning place where when you just want to have an overview of what's coming up or standardize any process in your business and link different items, it is so efficient for doing that. Like I'll use Aisle Planner, for example, to map out my YouTube process. That's one example. I'll map out what the tasks are, what needs to get done, and I'll replicate those for each video. And within that, I'll outline specific things that needs to be done for a task, right? What I need to do, what another team member needs to do, because a lot of my things are linked to my team. For example, the key project that I have when I'm doing videos is I need to sit in front of the camera and record. But then once that is done, then I need to get that video to the video editor. The video editor will go through and make edits and send me back any questions. Then it goes to my VA and then she will do an upload and clean up and edit. Then she will tag me in again for a review. But all of that is actually templated in Asana for my business. So check out those programs. The next one, because this one is very specific to event and wedding planners, is Timeline Genius. So Timeline Genius allows you to do that for the event side of your business. So if you want to generate timelines on what you need from beginning to end when you're planning your event, Timeline Genius is perfect for that. And for my template shop, I would get questions so many times, people saying, you don't have a wedding planning timeline. Can you add one to your shop? No, I refuse to do this because the events are so different and require so much customization. Like, yes, if I want to create something standard that's not unique, I could do it. But then when you think about all the different pieces that might be different for your event, I don't want that responsibility. But you know who does? Timeline Genius. And they allow you to do that customization within their program. Linking them down below. Check them out. They do offer a free trial that you can use to sign up and go through the program and see how it works for you. And I know it works even if you're a wedding planner or a hairstylist. You can schedule and create timelines for your wedding days in Timeline Genius. The next one might surprise you, and this is Google Workspace. So Google Workspace is great for organization, and you have so many tools within it that you can use. Now, I personally love Google because I'm a Gmail Google user, and I use the Google Workspace for a lot of file sharing. Now, I will link Google Workspace, by the way, to my project manager like Asana. And why I do that is, for example, if I have a task that requires a specific template or file, I will ensure that that is linked so that whoever that task is assigned to, they can click on it and go to Google. But if they need to make any updates, the file is on the drive, the update is captured, and everyone has the same file to work on. That's one of the benefits of using Google Drive. Now, you can use this with your clients and with your team. So I use Google Drive for myself and for my team, so everyone has access to the files, but I also use it for my clients. So I'll have shared folders with my clients, and they can come in and access the files at any time, see what we're working on. I'll send them a document, but I won't send it by email, so it gets lost in any, the email dump, but it will be in the drive. They can come in, access it, see my questions, make updates, or do whatever they need to. You also are able to use all the tools, Google Sheets, Google Docs. There's so many tools within Google Workspace that can benefit your business. Now, next, I'm going to look on the tools for client acquisition. Now, I have a video that goes deeper into this because it's talking about how to find leads for your business and how to generate leads. So you can go on that one to look a little bit deeper, but here are some of the tools that you can use as well. First is your Google Business Profile, right? So that's another tool that you can use to help bring leads into your business. It's a free business listing offered by Google. Go online, search it. If you haven't claimed your listing, go ahead and claim it. If you have one and it's already been claimed but you're not seeing ranking, go watch my other video about how you can optimize that. The second is any free directories. Free directories are a great way to market your business, especially if you're just getting started, because it allows you to actually go through the process of setting up your business in so many different places to increase visibility. But because you don't have to pay for them, you have the option of what I like to call a pay to play play to play version. And what that means is there's some platforms that allow you to put a listing on and you can still see inquiries and requests. You might not see them in detail, but you can choose if you want to purchase that lead and respond. I love these platforms because one, they increase your visibility and exposure. Two, you can better maintain and track your budget if you're on a limited marketing budget. And three, you have more greater choice and you have more control over who you work with and who you target, because it's not a monthly fee and you get whatever you get. Whereas, for platforms like the Not Our Wedding Wire, you pay a monthly fee. You might get leads that month, you might not get leads the other month, and it's really up in the air. And then you start questioning the ROI. In this one, you're paying to play. You choose if you want to purchase that lead or not. Third is Pinterest. Now, I want to add Pinterest here because they are a search engine, right? And a lot of people forget that they're not a social media platform, they're a search engine. If you're not utilizing Pinterest, please do, especially if you have a ton of content just sitting there that's not being used. Go ahead and upload your past event and wedding images to Pinterest. Give them really good detailed descriptions with keywords and link them back to your website to where people can connect with you. Next, I want to look at tools for budgeting and financial management. And I'm going to make this section really brief only because there's some of the CRMs that include a budgeting and financial management component. I'm not sure about Alplanner, but I know for a fact that HoneyBook and Dubsado does. And HoneyBook even allows you to do a lot more goal setting and targeting than Dubsado. So they might already be embedded. But if you don't have any of these, you do need some kind of financial accounting program to track your finances. This is very important. And if you already don't have a business bank account, please go get one to help separate your business and personal finances so you can better track your income and expenses related to your business. But there are programs such as QuickBooks or Wave that you can use to manage and track your finances. I highly recommend these programs. I started using Wave when I first started out. I don't anymore. I'll be very honest. I do have an accountant for my business and they use all the different programs. I do have a bookkeeper. I just send the receipts in. So there's not a ton I do. But these were programs that I initially started with when I was working on my own and needed help managing. Because let me tell you, come tax time, what you're not going to be telling the government is that, oh yeah, I don't know what I earned. I can't pay your taxes. I don't owe that much because I didn't track it. That's not an acceptable response. And believe me, the government does not care. Next, I want to touch on some tools that you might not even have really realized that you needed. Now, these are some tools that I find to be helpful or that I've seen my clients work with, and they're across the board, but definitely something that you need to explore, especially if you have any areas where you need some help and support. So the first one is the calendar side. Now, there are programs such as HoneyBook that I know includes a scheduler. So if you have a CRM, make sure that you go through and see all the features before you sign up for any additional programs. But if you're not using a CRM, because when I initially started, I did not use a CRM. So I had a separate calendar program. So a calendar program such as Calendly or Acuity, they're great for setting up meetings with clients or meetings with collaborators and your vendors, whatever that is. They are amazing for helping you manage your time and your schedule. Now, let me tell you, there are times when I initially started where I didn't have any of this in place, and I was working full time. I was running my business part time. I was trying to juggle both. I was setting all these schedules. I had events logged in with my friends, with my family, and I was trying to do all of this without any type of calendar scheduling. Let me tell you, that was an insane time, but we are no longer there. We are the girls that have figured out the solution. And let me tell you something, it helps. So go ahead and use Calendly or Acuity. Sign up for them. The great thing about these programs is you can connect them with your multiple calendars that you have. Maybe it's for your kids, for your family, for your full-time job if you're still side hustling, and it will sync it and block out the time so you don't have any conflicts. You can also tie payments to them. I know there are some of my clients who charge for their consultation. You can attach payment options to them so people have to pay before they can book an appointment. They are great. Another program that I personally love is Zapier. Zapier is one of those tools where, have you ever been sitting there and just thinking, I wish I could connect this tool and make them speak to each other, but the tools themselves didn't have an integration? this is where Zapier can help. Zapier is a tool that will help you to connect processes between different software and programs that don't already have an existing connection. So think about it like this. Maybe one of the things you want to happen in your business is that every time a client comes through to your HoneyBook, or they sign the contract, or they do something in HoneyBook, you want a file automatically created on Google Drive that has their name on it. That's something that you can create as a Zap. So definitely check that program out. The other thing I love to recommend, and I've brought her on this channel personally, is 3D event renders. Now, 3D event renders allows you to create 3D videos and floor plans that you can share with your team, with your clients, for yourself. I don't know about you, but this is one of those things that will up-level your client experience. Now, some of you have met Can before because I brought her on the channel and had her do a walkthrough of her program. She's also shared on her Canva course because she initially started showing everyone how to do this on Canva, but Canva was in a 2D. Now she does it in 3D, and it has a video component where you can export a full video walkthrough of a mock-up of an event for your clients. Guys, it will blow your mind. Definitely check it out. It also includes floor planning, which is amazing, especially if your clients want to be able to see what their event will look like and what spacing will look like. I know this is really popular for more high-end events as well, because a lot of those clients want to see what will happen when I walk through. If there's a red carpet, where will I stand? It is very impressive. Check them out. I'm linking them down below. Now, you also have other programs like All Seated that can also help with floor plan layout and seating arrangement, but I promise you, 3D event renders does a much better job in terms of just the quality of the video and the rendering. But check both of them. I'm linking them down below so you can have a look. The next one is one that I know you're all familiar with, but I do have to mention them because I know they were significant in my business, and it's Canva. When I started and I didn't have a graphic designer on my team, I used Canva so much. And I still use Canva to this day, though I will say it's more of my team working in Canva, but it is an amazing graphic design program. It is free to get started. Now, I do have the pro account, and I promise you it's worth it depending on the amount of design and the level of designing you're doing. But the free program is just as good. It's easy to start. You have a limited like a shorter, smaller library when you're accessing such certain images and videos, but it's definitely worth to look into because it can help you to create just a really cohesive brand and help you when in time you're designing images to be able to do it very quickly without spending a ton of time purchasing different templates or just having to sit and try to come up with a design yourself. Now, I can't wrap this video up without mentioning my template shop because I think it's so important to have streamlined business templates and processes in your business. So check out the template shop. There are so many resources I have on there, whether that's for proposals, brochures, or just pricing guides. Definitely check it out. You can find a ton of business tools to implement in your business to save time. So I covered quite a bit of tools that looked at organization, project management, event planning, and some finances, but they were very brief. If you have any other tools that you love, I'd love for you to comment and drop them below this video. And as I mentioned earlier, I will be linking all of them. Some of the programs I mentioned do give you a discount or a free trial. So go on over and check them out and see if they would work for your business. And of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get more videos like this one week after week.